Yeah, so thank you, Sheetal. Thank you very much for calling me today. It's really a pleasure to be here and interact with the participants and discuss about Planet Spark and also about how they can be a part of this education revolution that we are bringing, especially starting from Gurgaon. Uh, Now, before we start, so I am the co-founder at Planet Spark. We are an education startup based out of Gurgaon. We've been set up with a mission to spark the joy of learning in kids, and that's what is motivating us to work every day in Planet Spark and bring about this change. Now, a bit about me. I was before starting Planet Spark, and Sheetal rightly pointed out, we started last year in Gurgaon. Before we did that, I was in Hindustan Unilever for 5 years. In my last role, I was the HR business partner for sales function for the North region. And before that, in 2012, I passed out from XLRI. Now, this is a company co-founded by me and my co-founder, who's Manish. Both of us are from XLRI Jamshedpur. And last year we got together and we formalized our vision on what do we want to do in education. Education is something, as we all know, everyone has a point of view on it. We decided last year that we'll not be fence sitters. We will bring about a change in the status quo through our program that we launched last year. Now, so today's discussion and today's webinar is directed towards qualified homemakers, ladies who are for some reason or the other are not working, but they have the right qualifications and right skills to really make a difference and to be counted, and essentially follow their passion from their homes itself. So that is the target audience. If you are a homemaker and if you are listening to this webinar today, we will discuss about your prospects of working with us and how you can follow your vision. If you have a passion for teaching and if you have the right qualification and skills, then we can definitely partner together and bring about this change collectively. So yeah, so without further ado, let me just begin. The first screen that you see right now is about Planet Spark, and the vision is mentioned there. It's sparking the joy of learning in kids. When I say kids, we are between standard second to standard seventh, and these are the years that we see as formative years of a child's life, and hence we really wanted to focus on these set of kids who are currently in these lower standards, and we can definitely impact them positively and spark the joy of learning in them. On the top left, you'll see an icon which says Unlimited India. So that is a launchpad for social entrepreneurs. We are the finalists in Unlimited India. Really proud to be there and in the final as a finalist there, really backed by them. So it's a proud moment for a small company and a small startup that we have. However, we are in a extensive growth phase right now. Now, moving ahead on the second slide, you'll see we put down our vision, which is we are aiming nothing short of making every child in India fall in love with learning and realize true potential. That's what our vision is, and on a daily basis, the mission is very clearly to be a thought leader in modern, innovative learning pedagogy. So, when I say thought leader in modern, innovative learning pedagogy, the underlying theme is that, as I said, not to be a fence sitter, to really look at the education circle very, very closely, and be a thought leader, take a step forward, and bring about the change we are trying to bring. So these are the two important aspects before we begin. Now, moving on to something which we call as our compass. This is basically what we believe in and the key tenets that we bring to the table. You'll see 4 things mentioned on the screen, starting with the first aspect, which we call learning is fun. Now, these are the 4 things which we firmly believe in, and they are as much part of our DNA as anything else. And this is very, very critical. to what Planet Spark stands for. So first aspect is learning is fun. We firmly believe that every child can fall in love with learning if taught the right way. So we have seen that enough and more kids are busy in activities which are like, for example, gaming, going out there, playing some games outside, etc. But when it comes to studies, and when it comes to especially the important life skill subjects like maths and English, we have sometimes realized that they see it as a boring activity. However, we firmly believe that learning is not a boring activity. It is definitely something which can be made at least as much fun as play. So that is the first thing that we believe in. Uh, the second one that you see on the screen is concepts can be mastered. Learning is incomplete without mastery of a concept. It's not about mugging things up. It's not about, today reading about something and then forgetting about after 2 to 3 days. So it's not about that. Concepts can be mastered. If I were to draw an analogy, for example, those of you who know how to drive a car, the driving of car comes as something which is now innate inside you. You don't need to practice it every day. So this is what we believe in. All the topics that get taught in these subjects of maths and English can definitely be mastered by the kids. Now the third aspect is 21st century needs smart skills. Smart skills like critical thinking, problem solving, and communication skills. So these are the skills that we believe these days, apart from run-of-the-mill subjects, these are the skills that are a must in a child who's growing up, and if you really want to set up the child for success in the future. And the last aspect is lectures are for the past. One-way lectures where teacher is teaching on a blackboard and students are just listening to the teacher and making notes. That is not the right way to deliver education. We believe that it is a thing of the past. The child should be actively involved in the learning process and be an active learner. That is what really makes the difference. So, using all of these four aspects, now I'll tell you what Planet Spark really does. We bring in a methodology called the STEPS methodology. Now, this is something which we have researched over the last 1.5 years, and before we launched Planet Spark officially. Now, this is something which is impacting the final chain of education when it really gets delivered to the child. We have observed that there are good curriculum design that has happened, even if you talk about CBSE or NCRT or the existing content that is there and the way it has been designed. So problem is not with the content per se. The problem is the delivery. Mostly we've seen that the way it is delivered to the child is not made exciting enough for the child to learn. So we did a bit of brainstorming. We reached out to a lot of parents. We reached out to a lot of teachers. And we basically the idea was to come out with something which really puts the child at the center of learning process. And hence, we came out with STEPS framework. The beauty of this framework is that it is well researched and scientific. At the same time, it is very, very intuitive and not something which makes life complicated for the person who's delivering it. Now, if I were to take you through this whole framework, the first thing that you see there is Spark. This is how a typical Planet Spark class is run, which is the first phase is called the Spark phase, where we generate curiosity through thought-provoking questions and videos. So the teacher asks certain thought-provoking questions to the child to really make the child excited towards what is being learned in the class today. So it lasts about 5 minutes for the child, and child really gets zoomed in, because typically a child would be playing a game, watching television or something, and when the class really starts, sometimes the child is not zoomed in and not curious about what is being taught today in the class. So the purpose behind Spark phase is to really make the child curious towards what is getting taught in the class. Now that is the first phase that we take the child through. Then the child moves into the think phase, where the child plays a game and explores the problem in much more detail through a game and activity. I really love the games that we've designed. We are board game enthusiasts, and there are about more than 200 board games that we have for children on each and every concept of maths and English. So without giving a formal explanation of what is being taught, the child explores the same topic through a game that we take the child through. The third thing that you see there is the explain phase, which lasts for 5 to 6 minutes again. And in this phase, we give a formal, explanation of the topic. This is where the formal explanation happens through exciting video capsules that we show to the child, and the child observes and analyzes and forms knowledge constructs during the explain phase. Once these spark, think, and explain phases are over, that's when the child moves towards a very important and the core phase that we have, which is the practice phase. Ultimately, we do realize that maths, English, and all of the subjects are about extensive practice. Practice is something which makes a man perfect. We all know that. And so the child really goes through a set of questions which are again scientifically designed and completely aligned to the school curriculum. And that's where the child applies the knowledge to problems and extends the knowledge to other areas. So going from easy level questions to the master level questions within this practice phase. Now, once these 4 phases are over, the final and the critical chain in the learning process is to share, to really reflect and summarize what you've learned and crystallize the learning in your mind. So the child shares the learning of the day with the teacher at the end of the class. So this is the framework that is core to Planet Spark, and which really makes the child excited towards learning. Now, moving on, coming to what the problem that we are trying to solve. We've seen that I've described 3 aspects here and 3 key stakeholders in the education scenario today. If you look at it closely, there is a child, there is a parent, and then there is a qualified homemaker, who is qualified, who has the right amount of skills and also a passion to teach. However, she doesn't have the resources currently to really stand up and be. So, today for all of you, the most important change will be the qualified homemaker and how do we really empower you and partner with you. However, I'm building a bit of a context to tell you, what is the problem of the child and the parent as well. So for the child, very, very clearly, it's a lack of, quality education nearby. Child sees the studies as a burden and is disengaged, which ultimately hampers the child's learning. For a parent, it goes without saying, and some of you would be parents, you would know that every parent wants to make the child smarter and successful in life. So that goes without saying. And ultimately, the busy parent of today in a metro desires, outsourced parenting by someone with great personality and credibility. Now, moving on to the qualified homemaker, the problem is that, she needs to realize her true potential while balancing her family life and putting her skills and qualification to better use and earn a reasonable part-time income from home. So these are the 3 important things, in the problem scenario that we see in education right now. Now, moving on to the solution, and now we'll talk about Planet Spark after this context that we have. So Planet Spark is a highly engaging and powerful after-school learning program for pre-teen kids, which is delivered by mompreneurs through their high-tech, hyper-local, home-based learning planets. So it's an after-school learning program between standard 2nd to standard 7th. And children come over to the teacher's home to take these classes. These are highly engaging classes, not like traditional tuition classes, the way I described to you through the STEPS framework. They come alive through our STEPS methodology. Now, there are 3 key aspects of this program. One is engaging content, and I took you through what is our teaching methodology. That is mentioned at the left. Towards the right, you will see, it's all about powerful technology. We have a tech team dedicated to enable these learning planets through bringing in learning analytics and personalization for the child. And finally, at the heart of the program are the inspired mompreneurs, handpicked, trained, and certified teachers who teach from their home and whose learning planets are powered by Planet Spark. So, how does the problem get solved for the child? The child learns through Planet Spark's engaging content, through games, activities, and worksheets, gets high quality, affordable education, and also a personalized attention through impactful learning pedagogy. While at the same time, the parent gets a perfect program for the child just next door, which makes the child smarter. The parent gets a certified teacher and a Planet Spark technology platform, using which the parent receives real-time feedback on the child through an app. And finally, the homemaker gets to set up her home-based learning planet, teaches for about 2 to 3 hours a day, and earns a very, very reasonable amount of money from her home itself, at the same time. So this is how the problem gets solved for all the three stakeholders through Planet Spark. Moving ahead, let me talk about what is the impact that we've generated. We've already impacted 47 children in Gurgaon, about more than 1,200 hours of training already impacted to these children. Product-wise, more than 150 learning and worksheets are live. I told you about the learning games that we have, more than 200. 6 standards are live. And in terms of operations, we are live in 27 localities in Gurgaon. And technology-wise, we have our own state-of-the-art homegrown technology platform that we call Galaxy, which is like a fabric on which all the learning planets are embedded together. To really bring alive the whole concept of community of homemakers on one platform and a parent view for what is happening to their child and the learning analytics associated with it. Now, with moving ahead on, now you know about Planet Spark, you know what we do, you know what is the methodology of teaching, and you also know about the on-ground model and the operational model that we leverage. Now, what is in it for you? As a homemaker, as a qualified person who has the right amount of skills, who is qualified, who has a desire to make a difference, who has the right skills, and finally, and the most importantly, who has a passion for teaching. So if you have all these 4 ingredients within you as a homemaker, Planet Spark is definitely the right program for you to really give wings to your dream of teaching from your home. If you have these ingredients, you have qualification, you have the skills, you have the desire, and you have the passion, means that you have immense potential. When I say immense potential, I mean potential to shape young lives and realize your true worth. And finally, so what is the opportunity? The opportunity for you is to mentor and teach young kids from your home, leverage your skills, an opportunity to realize your true potential, become a mompreneur while balancing your family life, and earn 20,000 upwards of income from your home while you are teaching kids right from your home. Now, where does Planet Spark step in for you? So we call something as our 6 commitments that we give to each and every homemaker who partners with us. So we will empower you with world-class teaching content. So you don't need to worry about what is to be taught to what child. That is completely taken care of by Planet Spark. So you will get a world-class teaching content right at your doorstep. That is the first aspect. The second is all the logistics and operational support you can offload to Planet Spark. How the classes are to be managed, how do we keep the parent informed, what is the loop between the parent, Planet Spark, and the teacher. So all the operational stuff that goes along with teaching is completely offloaded from the teacher. Thirdly, a well-researched teaching methodology, as I took you through, which is the STEPS framework. You get a well-researched and a brilliant methodology of teaching, which makes the child excited to learn. Fourthly, it's about offline and online marketing to support you get students for your learning planet. So we get into offline marketing, we get into online marketing as well to help you find students, which is the critical aspect of the program as well. Fifth point is about state-of-the-art IT-enabled platforms, which is our Tech Galaxy product that we give you to teach. And finally, training programs to build your capability. Programs, which start with inspirational teacher program that we have, which is a 1-week intervention that we do with every teacher. We start with a workshop of 3 hours on day 1. And then, the homemakers need to do certain online courses right from their homes itself. And then finally, we meet again at the end of the week and we give it a closure, through, again, a structured workshop. Now, what we firmly believe in is that there are no set of competencies that define an ideal Planet Spark teacher. It's what you can bring into the table. It's called the strengths, way of deciding what you can achieve through your existing strengths. Essentially, we really help you surface the existing strengths that you already possess through this 1 week of workshop that we do with you. Yeah, so that brings us to the end of the discussion, and then we will start with the questions as well. So just sharing a bit of glimpses of our inspirational teacher program that happens for a week when you join us. So here you can see some of the photographs of our existing programs that we've done with our teachers. So we've already onboarded 6 batches of teachers in Gurgaon. And the great thing is that most of those teachers that got onboarded are teaching from their homes. They have set up their learning planets, and we have received amazing feedback from both the teachers and from the parents. And that's what is really motivating us to reach out to more homemakers who want to be a part of this revolution that we are bringing in the education landscape, and how you can also be a part of this education revolution movement, and at the same time teach from your home and follow your passion of teaching and really making that difference. Yeah. So Sheetal, if there are any questions, I am more than willing to discuss them out and have a discussion on those.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Kunal. Really, really appreciate you making time for this and explaining the way this works. We have a question from somebody who hasn't given us a name. What amount of time is to be committed on a weekly basis, she's asking?
Yeah. So it's a good question. So it depends on, how much, involved you want to be. So there are all sets of teachers that we partner with. Some of them, pull out about 2 hours a day, which means for a weekly basis, it means around 12 hours of intervention. Some of them are also teaching for 1 hour a day. So it works, for every teacher the way she wants it to work out. Essentially, we have 3 classes in a week, which means, you can teach on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you can teach on a Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So this is a 1 hour class in which maximum 5 students would be there in your learning planet. So let's say if you can spare 1 hour a day, which means you can teach 2 batches, which means 10 students can be taught by you. So there are all sets of teachers. Some of them want to teach for even 3 hours on a daily basis, who see it as a more like a full-time opportunity than a part-time opportunity. While at the same time, some of them are working professionals and they come back, from their part-time jobs that they are doing, and they see Planet Spark engagement as a 1 hour or a 2 hour engagement on a daily basis as well. So essentially, the answer of the question is that it depends on how much time you can pull out. Ideally, the recommended time is close to 1 to 2 hours on a daily basis for 6 days a week.
Perfect. That question was from Shobha. And just to add on to this Kunal, trying to understand, so are these batches all mixed age group batches? You said 2nd standard to 7th standard, or
right.
Or would I say that, the 4 to 5 is only 4th grade and 5 to 6 is only 7th grade? How does that work?
So basically, it's a heterogeneous group. We invite standards, so all the standards within the same batch itself. It actually really enhances the learning, is what we have seen. If there are in the same batch, if there are students, let's say 3 students from 4th grade and 2 students from 5th grade, that really helps the child to learn from each other, and there are involving games that they play, with each other as well. So it is a heterogeneous group that the teacher will be teaching within this time slot.
Fair enough. But you obviously wouldn't take extreme corners, so you wouldn't be mixing 2nd graders with 7th graders. No, something you'd like to do. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, of course. So essentially, we try to keep it homogeneous as well, in case the teacher has a bit of a concern on the 2 extremes. However, there are cases where 3rd standard and 4th standard, for example, are getting mixed in the same batch.
Okay, perfect. So we have a question from Maria. Maria, hi. She says, hi, everyone. How different is Planet Spark from QMAT? She's asking.
Right. So good question. So we have observed that there are, programs coming up within the same operational model at other places as well. Essentially, the core difference that Planet Spark brings out is the methodology of teaching, which is really about making it exciting for the child to learn. So we are not a worksheet-based way of teaching, where we will just be sending certain worksheets and students will be solving those. So the first critical difference is that we are a child-centric program, which really makes it exciting for the child to learn through an engaging methodology of teaching. So there are games, activities, there are stuff that we do with the child, which really makes the child excited towards learning. So it's about, the first difference is on the learning methodology, which is highly engaging for the child in Planet Spark. The second difference is that Planet Spark is a school-aligned program. So whatever happens in the school comes alive in a Planet Spark class in the evening. So it's not a standalone program. Some of the other programs that you've mentioned are like standalone programs, which would have, for example, if I were to draw an analogy, there could be a child in fourth standard who's studying fractions in school, but could be, getting taught integers in that kind of a program. So it's not Planet Spark is not a standalone program. It is a school-aligned program. It's like a force multiplier for the child. So whatever the child gets taught in the school comes alive in a Planet Spark class in the evening. So these are the two critical differences that Planet Spark has. Thirdly, for a homemaker, the key difference is that we partner with you very, very closely to help you set your learning planet and also help you find students. That is a critical chain, because we've observed that a homemaker cannot, for example, go out in the society, trying to ring bells of every house and trying to reach out to the parents by saying, why don't you send your child over to my learning planet? It cannot happen, because that is something which we don't expect our homemakers to do. So hence we step in by bringing in our on-ground teams to reach out to parents and help you market your learning planet better. And that is the third key difference that Planet Spark brings into play.
Okay, perfect. Babita has a question. Do I have to invest money, and how much I earn for one kid? Do I have to give a test like QMath? Also, same question is for Madhumita Pal. Do I have to invest some money? How much will I earn for one kid?
Perfect. So, let's first talk about the investment aspect. So, as I said, it is basically like a profit sharing model that we have. So, first of all, it's not an employer-employee relationship that Planet Spark has with the teachers. It's basically the teachers turn into mini entrepreneurs from their homes, and it's a partnership model that we have with our teachers. So, essentially, the money that you need to invest is absolutely nothing. Once you are a part of the program, you don't need to invest anything. All the investment and marketing are obviously within certain ranges that we see deemed fit for those localities and societies, but all the marketing is done by Planet Spark, so teachers don't need to bear any cost whatsoever after they are part of this program. Now, that is the first aspect. The second aspect is that while you are enrolling into this program, we do have an enrollment fees, which we currently charge 1,500, which is more like a token money that we charge, because we also want the teachers to have that element of seriousness once they become part of this program. So that is the enrollment charge that they bear, that we ask them to bear at the beginning. Now, second aspect is on the test that I think someone asked. Yes, we do have assessment. The key skills that we look out for, number one is the desire. So you must have a desire to teach from your home. That is very, very critical. It's not for people who are just exploring new things. It's about people who take education very, very seriously, and they have a really heavy bent of mind of that they want to be teachers from their homes. So that is the first aspect that we look for. Second is obviously we look for people with good personality, good communication skills, and a certain experience of teaching behind their back. So that is the answer on the assessment that we have at the beginning of. And I think somebody also asked on what is the earning potential. So earning potential depends on the number of kids that you want to teach. It's a 12-month program, and in any 12-month program, our offering to the parent would depend on the month that we are in as well. So that offering changes from month to month. Currently, we charge 1,800, per month to the parent per child for these 3 classes in a week. Then which is then profit distributed in a certain ratio.
Okay, Perfect. The next question is from Shobha. Are there any specific requirements at home for this? And how much marketing is required by us? Are there any specific requirements in terms of infrastructure at home for this? Now, before I let you answer that question, Kunal, just to let you know, we have only a few minutes left with this. Would you
Right.
please just quickly tell people how to apply for this program? Can they send you an email directly, or how would you prefer?
Perfect. So yeah, we have a career page on Women Restart. If you want to apply, please go there and pour in your applications. Otherwise, you can search for Planet Spark on Google. You can go to our website and you will find that will guide you towards the application process. I'm sorry, I couldn't get the question. What was the question that was that we would?
So Shobha wants to know if there's any specific requirement at
Right.
home. What's the
Yeah.
infrastructure she needs at home, and what kind of marketing you would expect
Yeah.
her to do?
Yeah, so we require three things from our teachers. One is good furniture where students can sit and take these classes. So some of our teachers are teaching from the dining tables as well. So you need basic furniture which is comfortable for the child to sit and take these classes. So that is one. Second is a good internet connection is required because our explain phase in the steps methodology is about video capsules, and we show those video capsules to the child. So second is a good internet connection. And third, and most importantly, it is about how do you provide a safe environment for the child to learn in, and basically an environment where the child can learn and thrive. So these are the three key things that we ask in terms of what is required for the teacher to set up the learning planet.
So these capsules, you did say the video capsules that you have, the teacher is supposed to use their computer, or would you be providing a device?
Yeah, so essentially a laptop is good enough. If you have a laptop, and I'm sorry I didn't bring in that point, so a laptop is also something which is required by a teacher to show these video capsules. Yeah.
Okay. And then Shobha also asked how much marketing is required by us.
Yeah, so there are three things that we ask for you. Basically, there are some things that we do, obviously, and there are some expectations from the teachers as well. So one is that once you start getting students, if you really, really teach them impactfully through this engaging methodology, so you definitely play on the word of mouth. So if you deliver this education in a very impactful manner to one child, the one child can talk to two, then two parents talk to four, and that's how your learning planet goes. So one is about teaching impactfully. Second is you can spread the word in your circles. If you are a part of a WhatsApp group in your society, if you're a part of a certain community within your society, you can definitely reach out to parents saying that now you're a part of Planet Spark. It's an engaging program for preteen kids. Why don't you, come over and see how the classes are coming alive? So essentially, the homemaker leverages her connections and her networks within the society. Apart from that, then obviously you are the local expert in your area, and you can definitely tell us, why don't you reach out to parents in the evening at this place where there are a majority of parents who are, sitting there, for example, in front of a park or in front of a daycare center, or if there's a school nearby. So you can bring in all of your local insights and tell us on where you want more support in terms of reaching out to the parent.
Okay. Maria is asking, so the subjects covered are English and maths, right?
Correct. Yeah. So we cover maths and English, right?
Okay. That's about it. No more questions coming in. Girls, we do have last couple of minutes left. So if you have any questions, you can ask them now. As Kunal pointed out, okay, so Babita is asking 1,500 has to be paid.
That's
I
the
guess,
enrollment.
yeah. After they're selected, if you shortlist them.
Yeah. So after they're selected, they need to enroll, and that is the enrollment charge. After which, there is the journey starts off, inspirational teacher program, the glimpses that you're seeing on the screen. That is the training program that we have for all the teachers. And then you officially start your learning planets after that.
Yes. So, Babita, just to quickly clarify, you're not paying anything right now. You will first send in your application. Kunal and his team will then evaluate you, make sure that you'd be a good fit for this program, and you can be onboarded as a teacher partner. And if you're selected, at that point in time, you'll be required to pay the 1,500, and then you will also be trained by the Planet Spark team. We also have another question from Shobha. Is it sequentially with school syllabus? Is it?
Absolutely. And that is the beauty of this program, that it is completely aligned to the school curriculum. So, for example, let's say if a child joins us from a school called, let's say, Alpine Convent School. So the first step is that we look at the child's maths book that is getting followed in that school. And since our content is modularized, it comes in the form of modules. We custom feed that modules, those modules according to the child's and it's an individual learning plan that every child has, which is completely aligned to the school curriculum.
Okay, fair enough. Then we have last question. Is the program available in Pune too? Like the training will be online, or I have to go to your office? So Babita, right now, Planet Spark is only onboarding in Gurgaon. However, in very, very near future, the next expansion plan is in NCR, which is, Faridabad, Ghaziabad, Delhi,
Right.
all the other places, and then eventually coming to your city also. So if you do have any friends, family, relatives in Gurgaon that you would want to recommend, please do that now. And in Pune, we'd be very happy to onboard you shortly. And then Sarika says, I missed first few minutes. Don't worry about that, Sarika. We will share the recording with you on our Facebook page. Now, people, Maria in Bangalore, not currently, right now, only in Gurgaon. But please recommend other friends and family members who might be interested. Last 1 minute to go, so I'll just quickly let you know that if you are interested to apply, if you have further questions that you want to get answered, please drop me an email. I'm going to ping that on the chat window right now. My email address is sheetal@womenrestart.com. You can also visit our website, and there's a landing page specifically for Planet Spark, which tells you anything and everything that you need to know about Planet Spark and how to apply. You can apply, and then one of their team members will call you, figure out if there are synergies, common synergies that can be explored, and you can be onboarded as a teacher. So thank you so much, guys, for a very insightful session, Kunal, I have to say. I learned a lot about Planet Spark, and I'm sure a lot of other participants did too. And I'm confident that you had a good one yourself. Any closing thoughts?
Well, thank you very much for calling me today for this webinar. It was brilliant to discuss about Planet Spark with all of you, and really look forward to some of you becoming teacher partners with us, and soaking into our vision of